As you go through life, I'm sure there's things that you have seen that you wish you hadn't seen, and that is a lot of movies on the IMDb top 100 list. I mean, this movie from start to finish, like, I don't think there was a single time where I was like, wow, that actually looks decent. I think every single frame that I saw, the CGI was horrible. It was so bad. I mean, I just don't understand how it could be this bad. From the same company that made Spy Kids and the same filmmaker that made Spy Kids, and he's gone on to do a bunch of other stuff. Like, I can't comprehend how they made this movie look this bad with the producers behind it and the people involved. And yeah, I just don't understand. It actually didn't do terrible at the box office, and I know a lot of kids saw it. When I was a kid, I saw parts of it, never actually watched it all the way through. I was a smart kid, and I have finally watched it all the way through now, and yeah, I could say it's pretty hard to get through at times. I mean, not only does it look bad, but also like the dialogue and the writing in this film is, I want to say, like a 2 out of 10 at times. I mean, sometimes a 0 out of 10. There are just some the cringiest lines you've ever heard, and some of the acting is awful. And it's definitely a movie, if you were to get really intoxicated, really high, and watch this movie with friends, I think you'd have a great time. And so it's definitely one of those really bad movies that it's so bad it's funny and enjoyable. So it does have that going for it, but man, this is one of the ugliest films I think I have seen from a CGI perspective. I haven't seen Spy Kids, since I was a kid, but I just remember it. It wasn't that bad, I don't think it was as bad as this movie. And while I say all this and talk about all the negatives, it's not all entirely negative. I actually think like Lava Girl's story is pretty interesting and asks some deep questions about morality, where she's struggling with, not knowing if she's evil or not the entire film. I think that's pretty interesting. I think the actual concept of the film is solid too. It's kind of Inception-like, and I know a lot of people said that online, because you're watching this kid and his dreams, and he wants his dreams to be real, and you enter into his whole dream world. And, if the CGI was better, if a lot of things are better in this movie, and they just went off this concept, I think this could be, rival some Disney movies of the day. But man, it really goes to show, like, if a movie looks like this bad, it's not going to live up to like other competitors that are coming out with movies, like Disney back in this day, where they did look good and the story was good and the acting was at least decent in a lot of the films, and a lot of the times better than decent. And this one just, the basics of film were just thrown out the window. I mean, I just don't understand how they got so much wrong with this movie. This movie can be rough to watch at times, and the rating on IMDb for this movie is also rough, a 3.8 out of 10. I honestly don't think it's a 3 out of 10 movie. I think that there's a lot worse movies that don't have a 3 rating out of 10. And this movie, like, the story, you can actually follow it. You could see kids actually connecting with the story, becoming immersed into the world. I mean, yes, when you're an adult watching this movie, there's so many things you can criticize, and it does not really impact you. At least it didn't impact me as much as it would if I was a kid. But I would say, just from like an overall story perspective, there was enough good things going on that I would actually bump it up to like a 4.5 out of 10, maybe a 5, but I wouldn't go that high. 4.5 out of 10, because it's actually a story that, you can follow from start to finish. And I know that there's movies out there that have a story that you can't even comprehend. It's so bad. And it's definitely a 3 or worse out of 10. So this one isn't a 3 out of 10. It's a 4.5 out of 10 for me. So yeah, if you're looking for a really good bad movie, The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl is certainly that, and you will enjoy it for that reason and that reason only. And if you're looking to see some of the worst CGI ever put into a movie, then you'll find it right here with this one.